special. That's 3 pieces oak bran crispy. That's a biscuit and honey butter. That's all for $1.99.
Oh, not today, thanks. I'll have a bucket of certified chicken to go.
Well, I'm afraid that was just a limited time offer.
Oh, well, are you offering it again anytime soon?
Pending on the outcome of the current management labor negotiations.
Well, you bring the certified back, and I'll come back.
Well, tally that one up, Harv. Another great big double goose egg.
Are you satisfied? You're driving us to ruin.
Harv, babe, tell management here that he can start hawking my certified again the minute he signs labor on as a full partner.
Opal says you can start.
I heard. You're holding that recipe hostage, and I refuse to deal with terrorists.
Hey, Opal.
Oh,
Harvey.
Hey, Ma. Dixie's decided you guys should market chicken wings that come wrapped in wax paper with their own towelettes.
Actually, I think some of Opal's certified chicken would do just nicely, thank you.
Well, that does it.
What did I say?
The 3 of you rehearse this?
Huh?
I just said I'd like some of Opal's chicken.
Oh, well, I agree. Let's have a certified chicken in every pot. Let's have the mayor set aside a special day to cluck and say howdy. You want certified chicken? Well, my wings are tied. Ask her. That's the chicken thief right there.
Don't look at me. I wanted to send out for pizza.
Heads, you lost a patient, tails, your best friend.
Hi, Hayley.
Yes, it's me, Hayley. Cheering up glum chums is specialty.
The only thing that can make me happy is if Adam decided... Did Adam send you? Does he want me to come back home?
Let me tell you, you thinking about adopting Jamal? You do, you will be making the biggest mistake of your lives.
Where is this coming from?
Now, look, I know that you have strong feelings about this kid, okay? But the fact of the matter is, this is not just any kid.
I don't think I follow you.
Well, that's probably because I'm not saying it right. I'm not sure that there is a right way to say this. To tell you the truth, I'm still a little too blown away to have thought it through.
Well, could you please just get to what's on your mind?
I just think that there are a few things that you need to know about Jamal.
Hey, look. My wife took a nasty fall today. She's in considerable pain.
I understand that, okay? And I'm sorry about the timing, but I don't think it can be helped. I don't think that you would want me to wait. Because once you know the truth about this kid, I don't think you're going to want to adopt him.
You know. Who told you?
I know what?
All My Children, brought to you by Peter Pan Smart Choice Reduced Fat Peanut Butter. Great peanut butter taste with 25% less fat.
Wait a minute. What is it I'm supposed to know?
Well, I mean, you come in here ranting about Jamal. You must know something. What is it?
Well, you seem to be taking this latest turn of events in stride.
Alec, could you please just get to... I don't know. I'm on drugs or something. I don't know what we're talking about here.
You said that adopting Jamal would be a big mistake.
Yes, and I mean it. Believe me. You need this kid like California needs another 6.8. Although I tell you, he's got brass. That I will give him. He came right out and admitted that he deliberately torched the proxies.
He did what?
Yeah. You were standing there when I told him that they needed to go into the mail immediately. So you know what he did? He walked out into the hall and he put him into the hotel incinerator chute.
And this is what you're so bent out of shape about?
You don't think that I have a right to be?
Why would Jamal do something like that?
Well, it's funny you should ask, because I just came from your place and I put the same question to him.
And what did he say?
Payback. Seems that Jamal thinks that I think that he's none too bright.
And what gave him that idea?
Oh, I don't know. I guess I must have done it. He wanted me to teach him about the stock market.
Well, that doesn't seem to me to be an outrageous request, Alec.
I don't have time to brush my teeth. And I'm supposed to put my life on hold to teach some little kid who wants to be the next wizard of Wall Street?
So you just told him to give up? Well, to Jamal, that means giving up on him.
Excuse me? The only reason that I let this kid slow me down in the first place is because he ripped off my watch. And you wanted me to help teach him a lesson. I don't remember anything about teaching him a trade.
No, you're absolutely right. He was there to help you.
Right. Well, it's good because he really did help me. He helped me right out of a job, I think. This is no penny ante screw-up.
I understand.
I'm not sure that you do. See, I'm gearing up for a major winner-take-all stockholders meeting.
Yes, we've heard.
And if the proxies don't go out, I'm out of business. So you know what I'm going to be doing tonight? I'm going to be stuffing envelopes and mailing them. And no, actually, I'm not going to be able to mail them. I'm going to have them hand-delivered if I'm going to beat the deadline.
Tom and I would happily cover the cost of a temporary secretary.
Listen, I'll get it done. I'll get it done. That's not the point.
Well, maybe you should get to the point, Alec.
I think the point is pretty obvious. This child that you are very seriously considering adopting deliberately and maliciously sabotaged me.
And he will be punished for that.
Okay, you know what? I don't like to get involved with the way people deal with their kids. It's really none of my business. But I'll tell you something. If I had ever pulled a stunt like this, my old man would have knocked me into next week.
I wish I were on a mercy mission.
Adam didn't send you.
No, I'm sorry. He only sends his point men to do the dirty work. He saves, all the good stuff like kissing and making up for himself.
Well, he'll come around. And they'll be worth the wait.
So how you doing otherwise?
Keeping busy.
Yeah. Get up, go to work, come home, repeat until you get new orders, or sick of Chinese takeout?
You've been spying on me.
No. I've been there, though. I know the drill. Sit around washing your hair, waiting for the phone to ring.
Does Adam ever mention me?
Well, why would you ask me that? I live with Charlie now. I'm a liberated woman.
I know. But you go home to visit and you talk on the phone.
Yeah, well, all we talk about is, he'll tell me how he had a corporate takeover, and I'll tell him how I solved my frizzy hair problem.
So has he said something?
No, I haven't heard a peep out of him. He just bops around, pretending like everything's just hunky-dory.
Well, maybe he isn't pretending.
Look, Gloria, Adam can fool most of the people most of the time, and he occasionally fools himself when he puts his mind to it.
Do you think he misses me?
Bless his armor-plated heart. In all that stuff that goes on inside him, there's only one soft spot, and I think you're it.
I saw him when he brought Junior to the ER.
Yeah, I heard. Junior told me.
I told him I loved him, and I told him that I wanted to go back home. It took every ounce of self-will I had not to just fall down on my knees in front of him and beg him to take me back.
Gloria, you goofed up. It happens to people. He goofs up all the time, big, in a big way.
He didn't cheat on me.
Look, you apologized, okay, over and over again for that, from the bottom of your soul. It's not up to him to give you forgiveness. What do you want to do? Get down on your hands and knees and beg? Don't you have any pride?
That's all I have left. I'd rather have Adam. I would do anything it takes to get him to take me back.
All right, well, while you're dreaming up new and unusual ways to torture yourself, let me run this by you. What if he never takes you back? What then?
Isn't this where we came in last time? Chicken Wars, Part 2.
Yeah, well, thanks to that old buzzard, business is down 41% here, and a whopping 63 points over at our new sister franchise.
That's bad.
Yeah, and getting worse. People are coming in and out of here so fast, I'm thinking about putting in a revolving door. They only want Purdy Bird or nothing. I'm telling you, Harvey is getting so bored that he's just making miniatures out of the wishbone.
Well, you don't seem too broken up about it.
Well, so the chicken shack is in the doghouse. It just shows that my special recipe is what they're really panting for.
A drop in business has nothing to do with you. Any restaurateur will tell you that when times are tough, people simply don't eat out as often.
Oh, horse feathers. When my specialized recipe was featured fair here, we couldn't pluck the feathers fast enough to keep up with the demand.
You tell him, Ma. I told you there's more than a way to give your uncle the bird.
That stubborn old coot refuses to take me on as a partner. Well, he can beg until the chickens come home to roost, but until he agrees that we're 5050 right smack down the middle, he'll be getting nothing from me but the cold shoulder, the big chill.
Palmer begging? I'd like to see that. He must be killing himself to get his hands on that recipe.
Oh, it's what he wants to get his hands on's got nothing to do with chicken, but it's definitely hot and spicy.
That recipe, I'll lose both my franchises.
Yeah, well, according to Mama, business isn't the only thing around here. It's about to go bust. You want my advice?
I'd rather fry in deep fat.
Oh, come on, Palmer, seriously. You say you're a leg man, I know a way to get Mama to throw in the entire chicken.
Yeah, how?
It's easy. Make her an equal partner.
Over my dead body.
Now you're talking.
Opal, have you really ceased to perform your wifely duty?
You bet your sweet Bippy I have.
Is it working?
To bear scratch in the woods.
No wonder Uncle Palmer's in such a foul mood. No pun intended.
Well, you know, that's just his problem. I have poured my blood, sweat, and tears, my blood, sweat, and secret seasonings into this place and given him more than half of my end of the workload. Now, come hell or high water, I'm going to have my Jane Hancock on those partnership papers.
Well, if you think I'm going to take Jamal out to the woodshed for burning your proxies, you ought to think again.
We don't believe in corporal punishment. We believe it sends kids the wrong message, like hitting solves problems.
Right, so we should just let him get away with it.
Well, contrary to your experience, there are a lot of other ways to discipline children other than brute physical force. I raised Terrence, and I never once laid a hand on him. It took a lot of patience, it took a lot of creativity, but I think we're both better people for it.
Let me tell you something. That touchy-feely stuff does not work with kids like Jamal. I know. He's got a smart mouth and a bad attitude.
Well, let me tell you something about Jamal's attitude. He needed that attitude to survive. He picked it up in some of the meanest streets in the projects. He talks tough, and he acts big, and he did everything he had to do to stay alive.
Give me a break, okay? I came up from the streets of South Boston.
Well, fine, then you ought to know better than I do exactly where Jamal is coming from. For why don't you cut him some slack?
Hey, nobody cut me any slack. I bootstrapped my way out of the old neighborhood, and I didn't steal to do it.
The reason Jamal stole your watch was to test us.
Oh.
Now, he knew that we were going to adopt him, and he wanted to find out if our reaction was going to be exactly what your reaction is right now.
Sure, okay. Well, I'll tell you what. If he wants to test you, that's fine. When he wants to drag me into it, that's another matter.
You know, maybe you wouldn't be so quick to judge Jamal if you knew just a little bit more about his background.
Right, right. I know, I've heard this before. I should just forget about everything. But, you know, the kid trashes my life, but that's okay because he didn't get a pony for his 8th birthday.
I think there's just a little bit more to it than that.
Listen, I know this, okay? My childhood was no bed of roses. It was very lucky for me that my old man knocked some sense into me, because if he had